So that's my tip. If you have shawls you don't wear, put it on your chairs. The second sock was just as tight as the first one. I messed up the colors and I picked the wrong colors. It's gorgeous! It's absolute chaos around me. I don't want to clean, but I'm gonna have to. Hi, my name is Maya and welcome to episode 68 of my knitting podcast, where I share all my thoughts, process and other random stuff about all things fiber related, but mostly knitting. Today is the 10th of December 2025 and I'm coming to you from the French-speaking part of Switzerland where I live with my gecko. I haven't been here for a podcast episode since 3 weeks and that's very unlike me, but I was sick last week. It also means I have tons of finished objects. I have not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 finished objects, even 6. Depending on how you count. But I have only one work in progress because I finished everything, which feels so good because I haven't had proper finished objects in so long and I really don't like having too many works in progress at a time. So yeah, that feels good. So today is going to be a very satisfying episode. And I do have some acquisitions, but I have already cast it on. And one of them is more like a fiber acquisition, but yeah, I'm going to talk about that at the end, if I don't forget. So, yes, that's all for the introduction. Let's start with what I'm wearing. So usually I'm showing like t-shirts, sweaters, stuff like that, but I realized I do have quite a few shawls, and I never show them in the podcast, but I do have some. So here is one. This is my, what's the name? Twist and Turns from Steven West. It was the Mystery Knit Along from 2022 and I never wear it because it's a bit difficult to wear. I love the color palette, it's very me, it's very much my vibe, and it's funny because it kind of looks like something I'm going to show you afterwards, but I didn't realize it. I'm not going to take it off because the mic is on and it took me ages to fold it properly, but hopefully at the end I'm going to remember to take some B-rolls to show you. But yeah, you know probably the Twist and Turns shawl. I did take the short, how do you call that? The short end, the shortcut, short finish, whatever, because you could continue this kind of, no, not this one, yeah, this kind of chevron motif thing longer, but yeah, it was a bit too much. And it was already hard enough to wear, and then it would make the shape really awkward, so I just stopped here, which means I had a ton of leftover. And I've used it for something else already. The yarn I used is, I bought a kit from Steven and Penelope, one of those you can buy before the Mystery Knit Along starts, and it was from Chink Fiber. The base is a fingering weight single ply. It's called Dashing Sassy, I think. I don't remember exactly what it is. I think it's probably like merino silk or something, and it has a really gorgeous drape. It's an incredible yarn. I really, really love it. I really love the stitch definition, the way it's a little bit shiny. I really love it. It's wonderful. And it's so sad that I don't wear this piece because it's just a little bit too much for me. So what I decided to do is I have put it on the back of my office chair. I mean, just my chair at my desk here. And that way I can see it every day. And I'm not wearing it, but my chair is wearing it, and I'm kind of touching it every day. So that's the best I can do with this one. And it makes me happy to see it. And every time I'm like bored at my desk and I don't want to do a task, I can just turn my head and look at my beautiful show and stroke it, and then start working again. So that's my tip. If you have shawls you don't wear, put it on your chairs. And there is something special also with this one, is that I knit it while I was traveling through Korea. So the last time I went to Korea, it was in October 2022. And I think the cast on was like a few days before I took the plane there. And I knit a lot on the plane to get there. And I remember I really wanted to keep up with the clues each week because I just wanted to be done once the Mystery Knit Along was over. I just didn't want it to go on for too long. But knitting while you're traveling is already hard enough as is because you have to like take all your yarn with you and you're usually too busy to be knitting. But this one, you had to take sometimes 2, even sometimes 3 skeins with you. So I had to hang around the whole Korea, the whole country, with like 3 skeins of yarn all the time. And it's super complicated. I mean, the pattern, I mean, you can tell there is cables, there is short rows, there is, stripes with texture, and here, a ton of stuff happening, and I had to like be super involved in the instructions to do my thing while I was traveling. It wasn't easy, but I managed to make a lot of progress during the trip, so this shawl now reminds me of Korea, which is even more special, which is even more reason I want to use it, if not wear it, at least see it every day on my chair. So that's what I'm wearing today, and it's kind of falling off my shoulder, and underneath I have a mini mock neck tank, whatever. All right, the first finished object I want to show you, I don't have it with me, but let me explain. So first, the object in question is the second, technically the 12th Gecko Mitt I have knit, because I have knit 6 pairs and it was the last mitt from the last pair, so the 12th mitt. And that is because the pattern came out 2 weeks ago. On the 1st of December, the pattern was released, and I did think to make a post on the day of the release so that you guys on YouTube could also use the coupon code for the celebrating the release. So I have done that. And I wanted to talk about the release on the podcast that was like a few days after the release, which means last Thursday, but I was sick. So I'm talking about it today. So the Gecko Mitt is a big pattern with lots of options. I'm going to go very quickly through this because I have talked about it like 600 times. So basically it's I have 2 samples here that I can show you. I don't have the other ones anymore, but I'm going to explain that later. So it's a very simple ribbed mitt, and the special feature is the way the increases are made for the thumb, for the palm. They are only on one side, and they continue after the separation of the thumb and the fingers with this cute traveling stitches detail here that goes in diagonal, and they are mirrored for both mitts. And regarding the options, though there are 2 different gauges, you can make them in DK weight or in Aran weight. So those are the Aran weight versions. I don't have any DK weight left with me, but I'm going to show you pictures of everything I talk about. There is also 2 kind of textures, so they are all ribbed, but in one option you can do 1x1 ribbing, and the other option is half brioche or half fisherman's rib. It's the same thing. And the sizing goes from baby to very large adult hands, and by the way, the largest size 8, hasn't been tested, so if you want to knit that size, you can just drop me a message. I will send you the pattern for free in exchange for your feedback on the pattern. And you can make them either in 1 color or with 2 color micro stripes. If you can see that, I have blue and gray here. So lots of options. It's a very fun pattern. They go super fast, especially the Aran weight, and they are super warm, super nice, easy to wear, and also perfect to use up your leftovers, because if you have really small amounts, you can do the stripes, or just use very small amount of yarn for this. Oh, and I forgot to mention, you can swap the sides, so you can wear the left on the right and the right on the left. It doesn't matter. The pattern is available on Ravelry and Payhip. I will put the links below, of course. And I'm not going to go through all the details of the yarns used and all of that, because everything is in the pattern page. So if you're curious, you can just go and check that out. And I don't have the other 4 samples with me, because the yarn for those have been gifted to me by a local yarn shop of mine, Douze Broderie, because this pattern is a collab with them. And since the yarn was gifted for me to make up samples, I have given the samples back to the shop. And my last finished object, we are circling back to the beginning, is the 12th mitt, because the half brioche option, the left hand is a little bit trickier to do. Because of the way the increases and decreases are set up, it's slightly trickier. And there are techniques like Italian bind-off, Italian cast-on, stuff like that, and the 2-color half brioche thing. I was wondering if it would be a little bit too challenging or not. I wasn't sure, so what I decided to do is to wait until the end of the test and see if nobody in the test had too many issues to knit it, And if they did, I would film a tutorial by knitting my very last sample and filming myself doing it. But if nobody had issues, then I don't need to do a video tutorial. And nobody had issues, so I could just go ahead and knit the mitt for myself at full speed. But since there was like 2 months, even 3 months time between the first mitt and the last one, my gauge changed completely. So the last mitt is massively bigger than the first one. Yeah, you can definitely see it, but also feel it when you wear them. But they are shop samples, so I think nobody's gonna wear them. And yeah, she can maybe put up only one of them, and nobody's gonna see that the other one doesn't match it. Whatever. So that's your sign to not wait for too long to finish a pair of something, because your gauge is very likely to change. And hopefully I am showing you right now pictures of the testers so that you can get inspired to use different types of yarn, different color combos. Some testers even use boucle yarns and they are amazing, and I want to make another pair of mitts with my boucle leftovers. They look so good. And those ones actually live in the pockets of my winter coat, and whenever I have to like drive and the driving wheel is cold, or just whenever, I just have my pair with me, and it's just so handy and practical. Some people are unsure of the utility of a mitt that doesn't cover your fingers, because you could think that then your fingers are cold and it's totally useless. However, I will have you know that if this area where the big, how you call that, not the veins, the les artères, go through, if this is warm, then the blood flow is warm, and then your fingers are warm. So if this is warm enough, your whole hand is warm. So yes, this is useful. I mean, not if it's minus 20 degrees, of course. But this is always better to warm the tip of your fingers than having nothing at all. Whenever I wear them, my fingertips are not cold, even though I always have cold hands. And it's great. And I'm so happy about them. And I want to use all my leftovers to do more mitts. But even I'm a little bit mittened out, I guess. And I'm torn between wanting all the mitts in all the leftovers and just being so tired of knitting the same thing over and over again. But hopefully I'm gonna get the motivation again, maybe next year, to do more because I love them so much. All right, that's all for today's release. Now let's go through the other finished objects I have. So just as I finished the second mitt of the last pair, and that's counting as a finished object, I also finished the second sock of a pair, and that's counting as a finished object. But I don't have them with me because, let me explain. So it's a vanilla pair of socks, stockinette stitch with a short row heel, very basic. And it's a pattern I wrote up because I'm giving a workshop at my LYS 12 broderie, again. But I only needed one sock to write the pattern. But I wanted to finish the second sock before the workshop started, which was 2 weeks ago, so I did that. But then I need the socks at the workshop to show people and so they can see what they are knitting on. And I bought them yesterday when I went there to give the course. And I left them there because I'm going back on Friday to give another course. And I just forgot I would need them for the podcast, so I don't have them with me. But they are done. I finished the second one. And let me tell you, even if there was not 3 months, maybe 2 months, a month and a half, between the first sock and the second sock, there is no gauge difference at all. I don't know. The second sock was just as tight as the first one. Gauge is a weird concept, at least for me. So the socks fit perfectly and they match, which is great. However, the yarn I use is Fiesta by Drops, which was also gifted by the shop, by the way. I had 2 balls because it's 50-gram balls. So I knit the first sock with the first ball and then the second sock with the second ball. And they were the same dye lot, but the second sock is lighter. It's not because the ball was in the sun or whatever, it's just the color is lighter. But the dye lot really was the same. So I don't know what's up with that. It's a little bit annoying that even within the same dye lot you can have discrepancies, but yeah, something to note if you ever have to knit a project with a lot of drops, print, kind of colorways, they can be different. And yes, I will publish the pattern of the socks. It's called the sweet socks because the sweater I wrote up for workshops to teach how to knit a sweater at the shop is called the sweet sweater. So I was like, I'm just going to call the socks the sweet socks. But it's not going to come out just yet. Maybe on Christmas, but I'm not promising anything. Maybe. I don't know, because I have to add sizes because people in the course, in the workshop, asked me if I could add more sizes so that they could knit some for their husbands with bigger feet, because I have graded for women for now. And I need to do that. So before the pattern comes out, and also it's in French, and I need to translate it. And as you may know, I really don't like translated patterns. So yeah, it's gonna come, maybe, I don't know. For now, I'm really overworked. I have too much on my plate, so I'm not gonna do that. But maybe between Christmas and New Year, I don't know. Yeah, at some point it's gonna come, but I don't know when yet. But yeah, whatever. You can find patterns for DK weight vanilla socks everywhere. You don't need to have my pattern to do that. That's all for those socks. Now I have another finished object, which is also a sock, but it's a lot more interesting, and I have them with me. They are so cute. So this one is blocked, this one is not. I mean, they are so sweet. So those are for Mr. Tinks, my boyfriend, because I don't have feet that big. And I mean, it's self-explanatory. I think you get the concept. It's a pattern by Stone Knits, the one and only Stone Knits, and they are called Home is Where You Park It. And I really wanted to make them because Mr. Tinks, he has a van that's exactly in those colors. And yeah, it was just too good. And he really loves wearing hand-knit socks with his Birkenstock, and I thought he would be so proud of having those. So yeah, I finished them and I tried them on his feet. So I had a bit of trouble with the tension of the collarwork because his instep is massive, despite having a very, very thin ankle. So they fit over his ankle. No, they fit over his heel, his instep, and they are a little bit loose on the ankle. So I'm a little bit annoyed, but he really doesn't like tight socks. I feel like the whole sock is a bit too big, but he's super happy about it. I did that on purpose because last time I did socks for him, he did say they were a little bit too tight. To me, they looked perfect, but they were too tight for his liking. So I did those a bit bigger, and he says they are perfect. I even have to lengthen one. I don't know if you can tell, but this is looking a little bit scruffy because it was a bit too short. I mean, it was fine for me, but I knew since he liked less negatives, I just lengthened it, and now they are perfect. I'm so pleased. And you can maybe tell that this sock has black tires, but this one doesn't. And the thing is, I used the black mini, a hand-dyed black mini, but it's very difficult to get black when it's hand-dyed. And it's not black enough, definitely. The contrast is not high enough to see anything. I mean, you can kind of guess they are here, but yeah, it doesn't look good. So I just used the black Sharpie thing to color the tires in black. And when Mr. Tinks saw that, I did a reel when I was knitting this first sock. And in the reel, I filmed the moment where I paint black, use the pen to color the wheels in black. And when he saw that, he said, "Oh, you changed the tires." So I still need to change the tires on the second sock. But I just wanted to show you the difference. That's why I haven't done it yet. And hopefully it's not going to bleed when I wash them. I don't know. And I also wanted to show you my floats because I did ladderback jacquard on them because you have long floats here in the body of the bust. So I did ladderback jacquard. And I think it's looking really clean. So here are the column of stitches on the back. And as you can tell, or maybe not, I switched colors. So it's not because you started the ladderback jacquard with like one color that you have to continue it with the same color. For example, in this case, I started with the green floats. And then I switched to the black float for the tires, but I don't think you can see that. But yeah, I switched the color throughout, and it's so stretchy and clean, and I'm so pleased. There is one thing I wish I had done differently, is that To make sure this part is stretchy enough to go over the instep, the designer has you do increases and change needle when you start this colorwork section. And I think since I used leatherback jacquard and my tension is very clean, I think I didn't need it to go up a needle size, because the stitches in the colorwork really look, I mean, you can tell they are bigger, and I don't like the way the tension looks. I mean, it's unblocked, so... And there is a little bit too much room when he puts the sock on, and it could be a little bit tighter. And since it's baggy on the ankle, because his ankles are so thin, I definitely could have gone down a needle size. But it's too late now, anyway. And I used 91 grams of the main color in total, and about 9 grams of the contrast color, so I used exactly 100 grams for the socks, which is interesting, because if I need fingering weight socks for myself, I use 50 grams, so this is literally double the amount of knitting. I really love Mr. Tinks. He deserves it, but yeah, that was interesting. And it's a little bit annoying that I used so much, because I wanted to use the leftovers to make like leg warmers type of thing, very short, I mean socks without the feet, leg warmers with just the colorwork part, because I have a lot of those colors left, and I thought it would be cute if we could have matching socks, but I don't have enough yarn to do socks for me. And I like wearing just the leg warmer part. And I'm not sure I have enough yarn left because I have 16 grams left. Fortunately, the skin was more than 100 grams. It was 108, so I have 16, 17 grams left. And I hope it's enough to do 2 small things like this. I won't use much because of the color work, but I still need to do 2 cuffs, one on the top, one on the bottom. So we'll have to see. But that's not for right now anyway. I think I'm going to do that late, maybe at the beginning of next year. I don't know. The yarn I used, so the main color is Socklandia by Giggling Gecko. It's a local to me hand dyer, and the colorway is Army Green. And the other ones, the white is by the same dyer, it's called Vanilla. And this is, it's in the description box, who cares anyway, it's just a mini skin in hand-dyed yarns, whatever. That's all about those socks. I'm super happy about them. Mr. Tinks is super happy as well. And this is not even his Christmas gift. So I need to cast on something else for his Christmas gift. But worst should happen, if I don't have the time to finish the other gift, this will be the Christmas gift. All right. The next 2 finished objects are the same pattern, and it's a design of mine. And it's accessory. And one of them is not really finished, but whatever. So this is the thing, and it's called the Holo Hood. So as you can tell, it's a hood. And this one is the cowl version, so you can close it. I think there is a button somewhere. I don't remember where. Oh, here, it's here. There is a button. And you can close it like this, because there is a buttonhole on the tip. Like so, and there should be another button here on the inside, but I don't have any buttons, so it's not there yet. You can close it like this, and it's a super cute hood, and it's all over brioche, 2-color brioche. It's wonderful, I love it so much. And the test has started, is starting tomorrow. So when you see this, I think I will already have contacted the tester, so you cannot apply anymore. But I did a post on Monday when the test call came out, so if you were interested, hopefully you have applied through that. And yeah, the main feature is the beautiful border, but you cannot really see it because it's black. So let me show you my other sample, which is blocking right here because I just washed it. And this is what it's looking like. So the beautiful border is a cable, I mean cables, and it's it's reversible because the whole hood is reversible. So this is looking like this from both sides. I'm so pleased with this detail. So this one is also all over brioche, but it's the sport weight gauge. So this one is worsted weight, this is sport weight. And yeah, this is the side with the black yarn out, and if you turn it over, it's the other. Oh my god, it's so good. And this is the shawl option, so with, no, not shawl, the scarf option with the long wings. And I'm not gonna try to put it on because I took nice pictures, so I'm gonna show you that because I don't want to like mess up the mic. And they are both made using my handspun. So all the yarn you see here is handspun except the black in this one. So this color, the black. Everything else is handspun. So this is my first ever handspun, so that's why it's a lot thicker than the other one. It's 100% Corriedale, and the details are in the description. And this one is my second handspun project, and I'm so proud of the difference in quality between the two. And this one is sport weight, as I said. So this color changing yarn has been hand dyed for me by a lovely viewer. So this is something just for me, and you cannot get it, and it was gifted. And this black is Onyx by Wool & Twine Fiber Studio, and it's a mix of Gotland and Swarpels. This one is Rambouillet. And this was very challenging not to spin, but to ply, because yeah, it's very different from Rambouillet. But I learned a lot, I really enjoyed it, and I'm so proud of the result, and I'm so excited. I need 2 kgs to knit. And I'm a bit kind of, not relieved, but happy I didn't get to film last week, because I was knitting on the border of this one, and I was waiting to knit the border of this one because I wanted to film a tutorial, because it's a little bit, it's not tricky, but it's something you probably haven't never done before. So I just wanted to film something. And I was very close to the finish line of both of those, and I didn't want to like show them in the podcast and be like, I'm almost done, and then show them in the next podcast and be like, it's almost the same as before, except they are done. So I'm glad I'm only showing them once, and you can get to enjoy the absolute gorgeousness that this detail is. I'm just so proud. There is one thing I wanted to mention, is that, so for the border, basically instead of like picking up around the whole thing in one go and then knitting the border with all the stitches, the technique is that you chase yourself, so you pick up a little bit, then drop the yarn, slide to the other side of the needle, and then use the other yarn to do the border. And when you run out of stitches, you pick up the first yarn, pick up more stitches, and then drop the yarn again, and then continue the border, and so on and so on. So that you can adjust the pickup rate in case you need it, because it's very likely that you're not going to have the same row gauge in the border and in the brioche body as me. So it's very likely you're going to have to modify the pickup rate. And I did have to do 10 attempts before finding the correct pickup rate, and I did write it down, and I finished writing up the pattern, and I sent it to my tech editor, and then I had to pause this one to knit, to make progress on this one. And when I came back to this one, I forgot the pickup rate. So I had done the whole half, the whole first half until about, yeah, the top of the hood. And the pickup rate changes here, because here you pick up stitches and everywhere else you pick up rows. So the pickup rate changes here. And when I started picking up rows again, I used the wrong pickup rate. And I didn't realize until I started knitting the border of this one, which was after I had finished the border of this one. And I was like, oh, that's why the second half went so much faster than the first one, is because I had a lot less stitches. And when I was finished, now it's been blocked, and I really pulled quite hard on the border to make them equal. But yeah, it made one of the wings shorter, for sure. But yeah, one of the wings is like, it's not sitting straight because the border is too short, and it's making the fabric, it's distorting the fabric. But it's okay. It's not the end of the world. I think if I don't tell you, you cannot tell. And I even struggle to see which side is which. So it's not the end of the world. But I really wish I did that correctly, because you can feel this one is too stretched out, and yeah, the feeling between the two is different. And the border doesn't sit as nicely because now the cables are like elongated and stretched out, whereas those are more plump and lively. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. It's maybe I'm just being picky, but I'm a bit annoyed that I put so much effort into this and I messed up the whole thing by just not remembering the correct pickup rate at the very end. And I also have a nugget of yarn left because I didn't use everything I thought I would use, because I did less stitches in the border. So I'm super annoyed because now I have a little bit of yarn left and it's such a precious yarn, and I wanted to use everything. And I even did this thing, so you can see here the border on the wing is this color, and then I switched to the black color around here, and then I switched back to the colorful yarn, because I knew I wouldn't have enough to do also the side of the hood. And if I had done the correct pickup, I would have used exactly what I had left of yarn, and it would have been perfect. But it's okay. It doesn't matter. I'm still super happy. I'm still so pleased, and it looks so good when I wear it. Ah, it's a dream. And I only have two things left to do on this one. As I mentioned, I still need to place the second button, so I need to buy a button. But you know I'm not good with that. And I need to sew down the border, because you knit it flat, like this. So here it's only one side. And then you fold it over, and you sew it down on the inside, and that's what makes it reversible. So I need to sew it down, but I already took the pictures for the test call, and I'm not gonna need this finished until I take the finished object pictures for the pattern release, which will be like in February. So I know myself, and I can tell you already, I'm not gonna sew down this border and put the second button until the day before the photo shoot, which is like in 2 months. So I'm considering this finished because it's as much finished as it's gonna get before the pattern release. I'm so bad with finishing touches. That's all for the finished objects. That took a while. So let me talk to you about my only work in progress, which is technically not true. I have 2 other work in progress, but I'm not going to talk about them in the podcast because I'm talking about them in vlogmas. Anyway, my work in progress, I'm gonna introduce the work in progress with my acquisitions, because I have to tell you a little story. Buckle up, it's a long one. So, I published in October a pattern called the Patagonia Peaks. It's wonderful, I'm so proud, I love it. And it's using a boucle yarn in Iron weight, so it's quite a chunky gauge. And I really wanted to make another version in DK weight, because one of the very popular boucle yarns around here is this DK weight, boucle superwash merino yarn that you can get from hand dyers. And a lot of hand dyers carry this base, so it's a very handy thing to have the pattern in DK weight, so that people who have this yarn can use either leftovers or just single steins of different dyers together in this project. So I wanted to do that in the same pattern, originally have one pattern with 2 gauges, but it was just too much. The pattern is quite involved. It's not, I wouldn't say it's difficult, but it's very involved. And it's charted because you have to do increases in the mountain peak motif at the underarms. And I could tell you, like, maintain the pattern while increasing, but I'm not like that. So everything is charted. So having the charts for the 2 gauges in the same pattern, it was just a bit too much. So I decided to separate the pattern into 2. So I started working on the Iron weight version because I had the yarn. And then I ordered the yarn. That's not even true. I ordered the yarn for the DK version before I even started the Iron weight version. So the yarn I ordered for the DK version is from pre-order from Exploring Knits and Fibers, and it was back in April of this year. And it was a super long turnaround time. I think it was like between 16 to 20 weeks. But I ordered at the very beginning of the pre-order. So if they do orders in like order they came in, hopefully I shouldn't be too long in the wait list. And I only ordered popular colors. And I know, I mean, at least in the past, they have been dyeing the colors in order of popularity. So I wasn't expecting to get my orders within the last people to have it, but I did. For some reason, I was in the last or second to last day of the whole pre-order 20 weeks thing. My order was finally dispatched, and I don't know why it took that long, but whatever. It meant that I received my order in like mid-September. So that was like 6 months. Yeah, 5 months and a half of wait. Whatever. So in the meantime, I had made a little drawing of the colors I had picked, and I used the, like, how do you call that? The pipette tool to select the color on the image, And then I put that color in the drawing and I put them together in a certain order to know what my sweater was going to look like. And then I received the yarn and I compared it to my drawing and I was like, that's not the same colors. Some of them matched, but the other didn't. And in general, they were a lot darker, less bright, more saturated. And one of them, it wasn't even the same color at all. Like, you know, the color wheel, you can pick the color in the color wheel to select a hue, I think. And what can happen sometimes is that you select a hue, but then the tonality changes. So it can be darker or lighter, but it's still the same hue. But for one of the colors, it wasn't even the same hue. It's just not the same color. And I was so upset, obviously, because the yarn was super expensive. And then I compared the yarn I received to the pictures and I was like, of course it's not the same. It's just physically not possible to have what was in the image in reality. It was just so fake. So I can show you the yarns actually, so they are still in the back. So those are the colors. There. And I'm gonna put up the picture with the colors they use to advertise on Instagram so you can compare. And of course, I am aware that all monitors show colors differently. That's totally normal. And I was ready for the colors to be slightly different, but that's just more than slightly different. Anyway, let's not dwell on that. So I decided to ditch the two warmer tones, so those two, and just keep those two and try to make them work together because it was super expensive. And I just wanted to not have to buy too much skeins on top of those. So I tried a few different arrangements of colors, but I really couldn't make it work. And it was just, this one is too warm. I wanted something colder, and I wanted something that looked like the picture, but this doesn't look like the picture. So I decided to ditch it as well. So I was only left with this one. So this is Bluebird Day. It's a beautiful color. It matches the color on the picture. And I really loved it. And I wanted this one as the main color. And then I scoured the whole internet, all the hand dyers out there, to find colorways I could buy in stock that would match this one. And I needed 3 colors. And I couldn't find anything. And I was getting so frustrated. And I really wanted to cast this one on. But yeah, I couldn't find anything. So the last option I had was to ask a dyer to custom dye a color for me, because I couldn't find anything and I really wanted to use this base because this was the whole point of making this DK version. It was to use this DK weight base superwash merino that is very popular. So I did a story on Instagram and I said, is there a hand dyer among you that would be willing to custom dye 3 colorways for me? And I wasn't expecting much. I was ready to have to send messages to people I don't know on the internet and hoping they would say yes. But somebody did reach out and I was so happy. So it's a dyer behind Breathe In Color Fiber Co. And she's in Australia, which is very far away, but it's the only person who answered. And she said she would be willing to custom dye those colors for me. So I sent her tons of pictures. I sent her the drawing I had in mind. I sent her the Pantone color name, code reference of the color, and I explained everything very clearly what I wanted so that she wouldn't have too much to guess on her side. And she took everything so seriously. She did so many tries, so many swatches, so many dyeing experiments to get exactly the colors I wanted. And it was actually pretty easy. I wanted one specific hue in 3 different tones. So one color in light, medium and dark tone. So that was easy because you just have to find the color once and then you just change the concentration of the dyeing to get different tones of the same hue. So she did that and then she sent the yarn to me and she was so sweet because she gave me the discount code for, she was doing a Christmas discount on her website and I ordered the yarn before the discount started, but she gave me a special code to use the discount a few days ahead, so that was very sweet of her. So I bought this yarn with my own money, but at a 20% discount. And here are the 3 colors. They are perfect! It's exactly what I wanted. I wanted a fade of blue. It's called Cerulean Frost, this exact shade of blue. Not the colorway, but the Pantone colorway thing is called Cerulean Frost. And it's so good. So those three paired with this one is my color palette for my second Patagonia Peaks. And this is the image of what I wanted. I am so relieved that this was the perfect yarn, and just so happy she was so involved and she put so much effort into this, because yeah, it's all so worth it. And this is so much better. It's so much more me than those three. This is beautiful, I have no doubt, but it's just not me. All of this to say, this is my acquisitions, kind of. No, wait, she did give me another skein, which is so sweet, because she said, she put a little note and she said, I think you're gonna like this color, and this is exactly my vibe. It's like purple and blue, and it's so perfect. And it's called Misty Mountains, and I mean, I live in Switzerland, so this is something I see all the time, like the sunset on the White Mountains, beautiful. I'm so excited. It's a standard sock yarn, and it's funny because it kind of matches her tag, so I guess this is her signature color, and it's beautiful. I'm gonna put her web shop in the description box. And this was gifted. So, all of this to say, let me show you my work in progress, because I have cast on my Patagonia Peaks, and I have finished the yoke. I mean, part of the yoke. So this is what it looks like. It's so good! It's difficult to show, but yeah, the yoke is in garter stitch, and I have the sleeves here on the side, on each side, and the double-sided collar. It's so squishy, it's so lovely. And then I'm gonna have the button band here in the middle. And I just started, I have like 3 rows of the color work in the body. You can, yeah, barely tell. But I messed up the colors and I picked the wrong colors. So I used the darkest color for the background of the color work here, so this one. And I should have used the mid blue, so the mid blue here, to do the peaks, but I messed up and I took this one. So I need to unravel the color work, but it's okay. It's not too much, it's only 3 rows. So I need to do that. But yeah, I'm making good progress. And now I have almost finished all the complicated parts. I'm doing the shaping at the underarms. And once I have finished the shaping, I can separate body and sleeve, and then it's just smooth sailing until the end. And the button band, which is a little bit tricky. But I'm so happy with the colors. It's so much better. It's, yeah, so much more me. I mean, hello, I love blue. Than it would have been this one on the inside. And I'm sure it would have been beautiful. I mean, purple and orange is beautiful, but it just wasn't my vibe. And let me show you a swatch that I did, because before I received the new custom dyed yarn, I did a swatch using what I had, which is the Bluebird Day from Explorer Knits, and I had this skein of ochre color laying around because I bought it years ago from Explorer Knits as well, because I wanted to try the base. So the colorway name is Pollen. Beautiful color. So I did the garter stitch swatch using this color that I had since years ago, before I even received this one. But I needed 2 colors to do the color work swatch. So as soon as I received those, I used the one I was sure to use to make this swatch. And the colors are super cool. This is beautiful. I think this would have been a bit too much. It's too saturated, it's too bright compared to, yeah, it just doesn't work for me. That's it. That's the story behind the Patagonia Peaks Light. It's gonna be called Light. The original version is just Patagonia Peaks, and this one is Patagonia Peaks Light, I think. I can still change my mind, but it's very likely to be like this. And the test call is gonna be in January, beginning of January. And I did mention before that I was very overworked these days, because I had to finish the tech editing and writing up the patterns of the Holo Hood, because the test call was at the beginning of this week. And as soon as I finished that, I had to hurry up and finish grading and drawing all the charts of this one. because we need to finish the tech editing with my tech editor before she leaves on holiday, because the test call would be beginning of January, so we probably won't have the time to do that when she comes back. So it was stressful times, but now it's done. I mean, I sent the first version to her, so hopefully I don't have too many edits, because I already have done the pattern once, so hopefully it should be fine. And then I can finally chill out a little bit and have a bit more time. I haven't been able to climb for like 2 weeks. It's super frustrating, but anyway, that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm excited to be next week, because then I'm going to be able to focus on the 2 works in progress I haven't shown you, and gift knitting. And let me show you the work in progress. So I'm not talking about them now because I'm doing vlogmas. It's a weekly vlogmas, so I'm posting on like Sunday or Monday each week. And I'm just working on this leftover blanket. So all the colorful yarns you see are either leftovers, or like this one is a mini skin set, Advent mini skin set I bought 2 years ago, I guess. So it's a mix between leftovers and mini skins. And the other one is, where is it? I lost it. I found it. So of course the blanket I just showed you is the switcher blanket. Who doesn't know the switcher blanket? And this is just a simple garter stripe blanket, and I'm using only Nutiden. It's gorgeous! And in here I'm using my Nutiden leftovers and the mini I had received in the surprise pack things. And hopefully I'm gonna get my Nutiden stash down to almost 0, but you're gonna have to watch vlogmases if you want all the infos about those. But I'm having a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying myself. But I don't have a lot of time to knit lately because of all the designing I have to do. But hopefully, starting from next week, I'm gonna have more free time, and I'm so excited, and I cannot wait to be next week. But I also have a lot of I have a part-time job, and next week I'm gonna have a ton of work in my part-time job. So there's going to be a bit of friction, but hopefully it should still be interesting. Talking about next week, next Thursday video I think is going to be everything I knit in 2025. However, I'm just going to do every garment I knit, so sweaters, tees and tank tops. Did I knit a dress? Yes, I did knit a dress, so dress. This year, because if I include all the accessories like the 6 pair of mitts and the 2 hoods and the hats and stuff like that, the video is going to be 2 hours long. So every garment I knit in 2025 next week, so if you're interested, definitely ring the bell and subscribe and all of that. And speaking of subscribing, we are so close from 2000. It's like getting there soon, and I will do a giveaway. I'm not 100% sure about what, but I have an idea, and if I pick that, it's going to be great. So definitely tune in, not in next week's video, but in the next podcast, so in 2 weeks. I'm going to do a giveaway for 2000, because I hope in 2 weeks from now we're going to hit 2000. Please help me out so that it actually happens, so that we can do the giveaway around Christmas, which would be very lovely, right? So feel free to share this video, talk about my channel, all of that, so that I can reach this milestone. That would be so lovely of you. Thank you in advance. And I think that's it for me now. I'm back from the future. I forgot to tell you about my acquisition. So it's in this bag. It's fiber, and I didn't pay for it. Let me explain. So this is fiber from alpaca from a local to me farm, because I was hanging out at the shop, Douze Broderie, as usual, and the owner, Sandy, she had an appointment with someone who has an alpaca farm, and she has a few alpacas, and she did shear her alpacas and get their fiber spun up into cute little balls. But there was a little bit of fiber left over, and it was in this bag. She's not a knitter, she just has alpacas because they are cute. And she was like, I'm not going to do anything with this fiber. Would you like to keep it? And Sandy said, well, yes, I can give it to Maya because she knows how to spin and she would know what to do with this fiber. So I was at the right spot at the right time, I would guess, and that's how I inherited of this beautiful fiber. So there's not a ton of it, but it's a gorgeous, very deep black fiber. It's super soft and it just has been washed. And yeah, it's local to me. It's from a cute alpaca, and I'm gonna have the time of my life spinning this up. I should probably prep it beforehand, but I don't have combs, I don't have anything. So I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I have this beautiful fiber. I have no idea how much I have, maybe 20 grams, 30 grams, I don't know. It's very fluffy. It's very soft. I'm so lucky to have this. I think I'm gonna wait. I have a few other spinning projects that I want to tackle before I do this one, because this is something. This is very precious, and I haven't decided if I should prep it or not. So until I take the decision, I'm gonna spin the other things I have waiting for me. So this is my acquisition. And I forgot also two things. I bought some knitting oh no! Some knitting thimbles, because I'm gonna do a lot of color work with the Patagonia Peaks, and I've been wanting to try, oh my god, to try one of those since forever. So this is what they look like. I didn't know which one I would like the most, so I just got the two. So this is one where you can have two colors, where there are two little holes, and this one you can have 4, which is not going to be useful for the Patagonia. But I figured this one you can have at the tip of the finger, so it may be more comfortable for me, I don't know. And now it's stuck. So I'm just going to use both and see what I prefer. I have heard people say this one sucks, so we will see. Worst case scenario, I can give it to someone. So yeah, those are other acquisitions, and I'm very excited to try them out. This time, that's it. So I'll let you go back to present Maya. It's absolute chaos around me. I don't want to clean, but I'm gonna have to. Yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you so much for taking me almost up to 2,000 subscribers. It's just wild. I'm so happy. I'm so thankful. Thank you also so much for your comments, for your nice comments, for the stories you tell me, all the support, the nice words. I really, really love reading and answering to your comments, so thank you so much for that. Next time I will next time I will see you will probably be for Vlogmas this Sunday, if you're interested. And if you're not, it's gonna be next week for the Every Garment I Knit thing. And until then, happy knitting. I love you. Bye.